Let's talk about equipment for a second. If you're going to do a wrestling, you need to make sure that you have good equipment, safeguard different parts of your body while you're training. Elbow pads, protect your elbows. You can wear them under your gi, or if you're wearing a t-shirt, just wear them over your elbow to protect you from mat burns. Knee pads, these are a little bit longer. These are softball shin pads. They work pretty good. But regular shin pads would work just as well. Okay, these are 3/4 length to give you a little bit more room and protect your shin a little bit if you're doing kicks before you go to the mat. And one thing that we found that works real well is the Harbinger style of wrist wrap workout gloves. These are for weightlifting, but you'll notice on the end it has Velcro, the rough parts on the end. That's important if you're grappling because you want to protect your partners from scratching them. We find that when you're doing a lot of grappling on the ground that your hands get scratched up a lot from fingernails, so make sure you trim down your fingernails. But also, these protect you if someone's putting on a gooseneck or something, or a finger lock, that it will protect your fingers a little bit more and give you a chance to tap out. If you have small wrists, these will work well for cuffing. About 20 bucks for a set or a pair, and they work very, very well. Okay, these save your wrist a lot. Now, as far as the wrestling uniform, we wear a gi, all right, kind of a judo gi, and we have our team name and such on it, on the front and back. But you'll notice that on my gun belt here, I have a plastic gun, and we've shaven off or cut off the actual trigger guard. Because if you're going to be wrestling around doing weapon retention techniques, you want to be cautious because with your finger in the trigger guard, it can tend to break your finger off, and it safeguards. All the sharp pieces of the mock weapon have been ground off to where there's no sharp parts, so if it ends up getting around the face, it won't cut your partner. Also, on weapon disarms, I don't want my partner to slide over sharp sights and end up cutting their hand. So a good mock weapon. If you're going to get the holsters, I would get a cheap holster. It doesn't have to be a level 3, although it's nice to practice with what you have. We found this at a local firearm store for I think about 15 bucks a piece, because these are going to take a lot of wear and tear, and you need a firearm, sidearm, and your cuffs on your belt. Now, some of the handcuffs that we practice with, these are made, they're called practical training cuffs. If you're going to do a lot of cuffing over and over again, to get your reps out of the way, we find that these type of cuffs, you notice it has a little knob right here, and that allows you to put the cuffs on and quickly take them off just by pulling these off. These are about 80 bucks. They're kind of pricey, but I think you'll find that these will speed up your reps as far as practicing cuffing. Okay, also you want to have a good pair of wrestling shoes, something that's flexible. Avoid court-type shoes or running shoes on the mat that can twist your ankles. You'll find Nike, Adidas, anything with a good sole on it for a mat-type environment. It also allows you to practice kicks without cutting up your partners. Let's talk a little bit about falls. Falls are important. If you're going to learn any type of throws, you need to be able to fall correctly when you're practicing your takedowns. And also on the street, it's valuable if you're knocked down in a situation that you're able to get to your gun and not injure your hands or your wrist when you fall. We're going to start off with a basic back fall. I'm going to show you some different positions, and you'll notice that from the beginning, we'll teach you to start from the ground and work your way up to a standing position for all your falls. We'll start first with the basic position of on the back fall. Okay, hands are on the mat here. Feet will be off the ground, and your chin will be chucked into your chest. Okay, this is the motion to slap here, although it's not necessary to slap, because obviously if we're out on the parking lot and we're going to fall into the concrete, it's not necessary for us to slap. But here in a training environment, it's valuable to learn, because the actual slap will actually dissipate the energy throughout our body, and we don't want to put our hand down when we fall, because that's where you take all your energy, put it on one spot, and that's where you'll break your wrist. Just like rollerblading, if you were to fall, first thing you do is you put your hands back, and what happens? You end up breaking your wrist. Now from the side position here, okay, and from the front position here, we would start off basic training by just slapping the mat here. Then we'd have you roll up and just roll back. It's really a roll and not a fall, not like the oak tree. Cross your hands, come back, nice and gently. Okay, real slowly. Now try a slow fall. Slow fall is where you try to fall as slow as possible. Now a slow fall would be where you will fall as slowly as possible using your legs as a counterbalance. And by doing that, it shows you the value of counterbalancing yourself in a rollback fall as opposed to just falling straight back. All right. Once you've accomplished practicing your sitting back fall, we'll go to a squatting position. Now from the squat position here, you're just going to sit and then fall. All right, let's try it. Okay, notice how the feet counterbalanced. When I came back, I'm sitting first, then slapping. Okay, let's try it a little bit from the side here so you can see it. Squat, fall. Remember, slap. Okay, now from a standing position, we've elevated from where we were squatting and falling back. All right. Okay, remember, here's another view, the side of how we're falling. Feet are counterbalancing. Again, allow yourself now to stand all the way up. Okay, now we will squat. Okay, let your arms come out, sit back and fall. As you come back up, you can either roll back up to your feet. Let's show you from the standing from the side position here as I squat, sit, and fall. All right. So when would we use this for practical applications on the street? A good example would be, I may have my firearm in my hand. Here, talking to a suspect, telling him to stop, person still advancing on me. And as I'm walking backwards, what do I trip over? But a curb. It allows me to maintain control of my gun and to keep on target. Still a pretty good defensive position from here. Now, if you've ever fallen down with a gun in your hand, if you fall down and you put your hand out, you know what happens to your gun. It goes sliding off across, and you don't have any control over it. So, one of the exercises we do with recruits at the academy will be to where they have a flashlight and a gun in their hand. They'll move backwards, and they'll actually fall over something placed behind them, and they need to maintain control of their gun and their flashlight at the same time, either in a standard position or side by side. their choice, as long as they have control of their gun and their flashlight. If you don't have a partner to practice with on your basic falls, one thing you can do is take a bag, lay it on the floor, and practice falling backwards over it. Now, this is only after you've really accomplished the basics, to where when you fall, okay, make sure you tuck your chin into your chest, and you shouldn't be hitting the back of your head on the mat when you fall. Now with the mat here, one exercise you can do, start off with nothing in your hands first, and as you're walking backwards, when you hit the object, let your hands go in front of you, sit, and fall. Okay, this gives you a chance to go ahead and keep your hands free, and then you'll work your way up to where when you fall, you won't use your hands at all. To where you'll come back, as soon as you feel the mat, sit, hands in front, come back and roll. Okay, we'll take this to a progression point to where now we'll go to our sidearm when we go backwards. So we'll have our gun out, we're walking backwards, we feel something, we go ahead and stay on target. Okay, able to move to a defensive position and track with whatever danger is coming towards us. All right. Okay, now a front fall. Front fall deals with when you're falling forward and you don't have an opportunity to do a roll fall to come out of it, but you end up falling face down. Okay, with a front fall, you want to keep your hands in a position like this, where you're landing on your hands and your forearms, kind of in a triangular position, and you're allowing your head to come down sideways, not in the front to where you end up hitting your nose. Also, you want to, when you fall, get to your body as close to the ground before you fall. Instead of falling straight out like this, okay, I've fallen a long ways, it's easier to go ahead and, I hate it when that happens. Good holster. Okay, again, when you fall, don't fall just straight out. Okay, you want to almost dive. Get close and land out. Try to stay on your toes, especially for the standing position, because you'll actually end up falling more like this. Okay, and you'll let yourself come down. All right. Here would be the next step, where you start in a kind of a tripod position and just let yourself fall, trying to stay on your toes, fall to the ground. Okay, try it again. Tripod position, fall. Now we'll show you from the standing position. Now from a standing position, again, you want to get as close to the ground as possible and not fall like the oak tree. So as I'm going to the mat, I'm basically diving into the position instead of falling straight down. Bend your knees, kind of slide out, using your forearms and your hands to catch yourself, let yourself down on the side of your head. All right, so as you come down, okay, turn your head either way. Come down and land, stay up a little bit on your toes, let yourself down. So when you initially land, you'll land here and then let yourself down. All right, so from here, diving out, coming down, letting yourself down here. All right, make sure that as you come out, down, let yourself down. Okay, side falls. Side falls, basically a lot of the judo falls come off the side fall to where you're thrown in the air and you'll land on your side. Now, obviously, we don't anticipate being thrown Okay, look at the camera here. Can you introduce yourself? Tell them who you work for and how long you've been doing wrestling.
Brian Davies, King County Corrections. I've been here since October of 95.
95. Okay, and how long you been in martial arts?
20-some years.
Okay, and what's your current style?
Ishu Dao Kung Fu.
All right. Thanks for coming in today. Appreciate it. All right.
Thank you,
Okay. And in the crowd is also Ruben. Step on up. Okay, go ahead. Okay, tell them who you are. What do you do?
Ruben Neves, correction officer, King County Jail.
Okay, tell us what type of combative sports you've been in.
Just a wrestler.
Wrestler? Those are some of the most deadliest individuals in the world. All right. How long have you been wrestling?
Since I was, let's see, 6, so about 24 years.
24 years. And you've done some coaching too?
I've done some coaching.
All right. Thanks for coming out. All right. And there's new Officer Bardsley. He's in the crowd. He's one of the foremost instructors of wrestling.
He's lying.
If you could step up here, Sensei.
Yeah.
He's trained me throughout my years of training, and it's where I've gained almost all of my knowledge, right? Dim muck, death touch, all from him. So he's just straightening himself here. Leave your towel there. Get in here so your head fits in here. So you got to get closer, yeah.
And if you believe any of that nonsense he just gave you.
Okay. As you can see, we've been working out here.
Yeah.
We're a little sweaty. Okay. Tell us what martial arts experience you've had.
None.
I mean,
I lie a lot too.
besides ballet.
Oh,
Okay.
basketball,
Basketball.
football, a lot of soccer.
Soccer.
I don't know. Is that enough?
Talk to the camera. Don't talk to me.
Boxing.
Boxing.
I've had some judo.
Aikido.
Some aikido, some aikido.
Any Arnis, Kali?
A little bit.
Okay. How about a wrestling? How long have you been doing a wrestling?
Forever.
Forever.
Forever. Yeah, he's been abusing me forever. Literally for about 5 years.
He's one of the few blue gi instructors we have of the Sensei Bardsley, we call him. He's going back to patrol.
Only because I paid him.
Big bucks. Big bucks. We'll have to talk about it later. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Yeah, for beating me up.
Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate that. Introduce yourself. Look in the camera. Tell me about yourself, what you've studied.
Robert Owens, Nimpo Taijutsu. That means a lot. A little bit of wrestling, jiu-jitsu, and Twisted Sister. Yeah.
I was choked out by a Twisted Sister once.
Oh, they're pretty vicious. Got a file down the teeth.
I still have this. I have the scar to prove it right here too.
Hey, puppy, come here.
Come here. Hey. Thanks for coming out playing today.
Thank you. Thank
All right.
you. And is this going to whom?
It's the 20th. It's for maybe a going away party. You never know.
Anybody bring a set of keys in here by chance, sir?
Camera, step up here. Okay, right there. Okay. Tell me about yourself.
Well, my name is Don Davis, and I am a defensive tactics instructor with the state, commissioned by the state. I'm also a King County police officer. I also practice martial arts, Taekwondo, and Hapkido concurrently.
All right. And a wrestler too. Thanks for coming out.
And then Jiu-Jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu.
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu.
Hey, Machado's gonna